Know your path, be the master. Indra Lee coming back at you with another video, also known as S. Ali Myers, if you didn't know. Give me a confirmation in the chat box that you can hear me and see me well. While I wait for a confirmation, just quick announcements real quick. If you're interested in the spiritual biz course, if you didn't know, I'm teaching a 4-week spiritual business course again. I'm not sure if this will be the last time. So if you are interested, make sure to go to spiritualbizaccelerator.com. To be honest, it's already full, but I'm going to probably leave it up one more day to let some more people come through because I do not know when I'm going to do it again. But it has met capacity, but I'm probably going to let a couple more people come through. I can be heard. I can be heard. Okay. To be honest, I really don't know where I want to start. I don't know what I want to do. But earlier this AM when I was doing my meditation, this topic came about my spirit. So I knew it's beneficial. It's going to benefit some people. So this is in light of what happened to young Dolph, peace and blessing be upon him. Just in full disclosure, this video is not about him, but the topic was inspired by him. Give me one quick second, y'all. Give me one quick second. All right, my bad, y'all. It's a little hot in here, so I wanted to get something, turn the air on. Okay, so like I said, this video is not inspired by young Dolph, but definitely want to acknowledge his spirit, peace and blessing be upon him. And full disclosure, I'm not familiar with his music. I'm not familiar with anything he does. So I'm not one to come on here and say that, you know, he is a quote unquote good person or that what happened was a conspiracy. I literally don't know what happened. I just know it's, from what I can tell, it's another senseless crime of black on black, so-called black on black violence. That's all I can tell so far. In fact, on my Instagram story, I made a meme and I used one of the quotes from MF Doom, peace and blessing be upon him. My favorite MC by far on this planet was MF Doom, Metaface Doom. And on one of his songs, he said, jealousy is the #1 killer amongst black folks. Jealousy is the #1 killer among black folks. I'm sure young Dolph experienced a good amount of jealousy growing up in Memphis, living in Memphis, which is a very, from what I know, a sort of an impoverished city. And I'm sure that he probably experienced all kinds of jealous eyes and envious energy. Truth be told, if we hold the people that really do good works, and once again, I'm not saying that young Dolph or anyone else that lose their life is doing good work, but what's safe to say is he was making a positive impact on his community. It's safe to say that he was doing things, from what I could tell, giving away money, giving away clothes. In fact, he was back in Memphis to give away things. And if all that's true, even if it wasn't, in my opinion, we need to hold people up in higher esteem. When someone is experiencing, when someone is doing something amongst our community, we need to hold them up in higher esteem. As long as we continuously don't prop up our heroes, prop up our superstars, then we can't get mad when people that don't look like us talk down on us, because we're talking down on each other when we do things against each other. Once again, this video is not about that, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that or whatever. So well, where I want to start out is like this. I want to speak about why good things happen to bad people. So we first have to talk about what is good and bad. What is good and bad? And I'm gonna use an example like this. A knife, or no, a gun. Is a gun good or bad? The physical firearm, a gun, is that good or bad? Some of you may say that's good. Some of you may say it's bad, and some of you may say it's indifferent. If you had a gun and somebody picked up that gun and shot a child, is that good or bad? You know, this isn't a rhetorical question. I'm just asking. Say someone come into your home and you didn't have a gun to defend yourself and they harmed someone you loved. Is that good or bad? Is that gun good or bad? If you find a gun on the street and you pick it up and it accidentally shoots you, was that gun good or bad? If you were being attacked by a muggler and you're a small woman and the dude that's coming at you is huge and you just find a gun on the ground, is that gun good or bad? You feel me? When you look at things from an unemotional standpoint, you will see that everything is good and bad at the same time. Anything can be good or bad. Anything can be used for a positive or negative intent. I'm gonna read you something. This is the only thing I pulled up because I feel it's very fitting. And this is a Taoist story. Taken from Taoism about 2,000 years ago. And it talks about a farmer and his horse. You may have heard the story. If not, you may want to look it up. Speaking of the farmer and horse, one day his horse runs away, and his neighbor comes over and says, "I'm so sorry about your horse." And the farmer says, "Who knows what's good or bad?" The neighbor is confused because this is clearly terrible. The horse is the most valuable thing he owns. And the next day, the farmer's son is taming one of the wild horses, and he's thrown off and breaks his leg. The neighbor comes back over, "I'm so sorry about your son." The farmer repeats, "Who knows what's good or bad?" Sure enough, the next day, the army comes through the village and is conscripting able-bodied young men to go and fight in the war. But the son is spared because his leg is broken. So what you're showing is what could seem as a negative event, the horse being stolen, the kid breaking his leg, actually turned out to benefit him because he didn't have to go to war. We only know what's good or bad in hindsight, you know. Personal share. I don't believe this is one I've ever shared either in publicly. Most of you are familiar that I wrote the book Deity Linkage Manual. Perennial #1 bestseller, is probably a bestseller right now on the bestsellers list on Amazon. But I wrote that book in 2015, I do believe. At the time, I was driving a truck. I still have my CDL. I'm retired, obviously, and I'm a full-time entrepreneur. But my last job that I retired from was driving semi-trucks. I used to deliver to La Rosa's and Casanos and pizza joints in Ohio area and also Indiana. So the job I did was very physical. I wasn't just bumping docks and just, going about. I literally had to go about delivering everything by hand. I had a dolly, big semi truck. I'm literally pushing everything in by hand. Well, I forget the specific injury, but it was an injury where I couldn't do my gig. You feel me? There's no way I could drive a truck and go deliver products or whatever. So I was off for about a week. During that time, we used to have people come to the crib, and we had what we call build sessions around with spiritual people or whatever. We used to have probably about 10 or 15 people come through the crib. And I had an ideal to get to make something like a tool in order to help people connect with specific deities. And my spirit led me to using numerology. So I created this system that's in Deity Linkage Manual, which allow you to look at your numerology chart and find deities that resonated with your particular energy. So I shared that amongst the people that came to the crib, and they were all blown away, saying it resonated with them. They used the information. And then, long story short, the spirit told me, turn this into a book. At the same time is when I got injured from work. So on the short term, on the flip side, I'm like, damn, man, I'm not gonna be able to get my money. I may have gotten some sort of compensation. I'm not sure of all the details, but it was like, man, I'm not gonna be able to do my gig. But what ended up happening was I had enough time to sit and dedicate to writing Deity Linkage manual, which I did in less than 1 week. So what seemed like a quote unquote negative event turned out to be something that's probably one of the greatest offerings I've given to humanity so far is that book. So I share that, and I share the story about Taoists, and just to clearly tell you that we don't know what's good or bad until in hindsight. And on a really deep occult level, for those who really are deep into the occult, there's no such thing as good and bad. What is good can be bad, and what is bad can be good. What they're showing you in a yin and yang symbol is there is good and bad, and there is bad and good. In the movie White Man Can't Jump, Rosie Perez, I believe is her name, she said every time you win, every time you don't, sometimes when you win, you lose. And sometimes when you lose, you win. And if you've seen that movie, you know the situation she's talking about. So I don't want to belabor it, but I just want to articulate very clearly that from an occult standpoint, and I'm only speaking to people who are spiritually minded and occult minded. If you're a human and have human thoughts, then this won't apply to you. What I'm saying is going to sound like I'm talking out both sides of my mouth. But for people who are spiritual and into the occult, good and bad are concepts, and nothing is purely good and nothing is purely bad. Remember in the Bible, not saying it's real, but remember in the Bible, in the Genesis, when that God is creating things, he created it and he said it was good. He didn't say it was good or bad. He said it was good. On a deeper occult level, that deals with singularity, where everything is good. Everything is all love and light, as people like to proclaim. But while you're still in a dualistic mindset and stuck in a matrix, you perceive things as good, bad, this is my enemy, they're opposite of me, I'm better than them, and all these things that make you seem separate than everyone, when in true reality, there's always just one. There's one mind, one creator with many expressions of that, and we're all connected with an invisible cord to that. If you don't have eyes to see that, I'm willing that one day you will. So, but good and bad are just human concepts. Human concept. I cannot articulate that anymore. And like I said, I just don't want to keep saying it over and over and over. So when we look at why do good things happen to bad people, in my opinion, this is what helps me, and I'm only sharing my perspective. If it doesn't vibe with you, then leave it alone. But what helps me is you never know someone's intent. You never know someone's intent. I'm gonna paint it like this. I'm a father. I have 3 children, age 20 all the way to 9. My baby girl's 9 years old. I'm what you consider, for the most part, since I've been a parent, I'm what you consider more of a tough love, meaning that I have no problems telling you no when I feel like it's going to benefit you. A quick example of this is your children, if they're left to their own device, they'll wake up in the morning, eat chocolate cake, don't eat vegetables, don't do anything, won't clean their room. Children, if you don't guide them and tell them anything, they're not going to do anything. For the parents, like give me some ashes or whatever you want to put. If you're a parent and you have a child, you know that if your child doesn't want to do something, they're not going to do it. And if you don't tell them to do something and punish them, quote unquote, like by taking things away from them, not beating them, but by taking things away from them, like maybe their phone or electronics or something like that, children won't want to do anything. They won't do a damn thing if you don't tell them. So it's incumbent upon a parent to be like, you need to do this. Let me have you do this. You have to have your chores. I have to guide you. You have to go to school. You feel me? Like a child wouldn't even go to school if you didn't make them. There are some deadbeat parents right now whose children never goes to school because they don't enforce that on them. And a child is not going to make an adult decision. I say it all the time. And I don't say it publicly, but I say it amongst people close to me. I don't expect children to learn life lessons while they're a child. How can you expect a child to learn lessons over the course of their life while they're 12 years old? You're frustrated and pissed off with your children, but they're not even adults. What issues and life lessons do you have that you haven't overcame? You feel me? That you probably never thought of like that. You like, man, this child is lazy. What lessons do you have? I'm sure if you ask your child, they're going to tell you some things that you don't want to hear. But guess what? You're double and triple their age and you haven't learned certain lessons or whatever. So don't get all the way out your hookup because they don't follow your advice. But I digress. So, like I said, I'm what you consider tough love. I do things out of tough love. Have no problems telling my children no when I feel like it will benefit them or they have a lesson to learn. So, so when you look at it, my intent when I tell my children no, it's a reason I'm telling them no. Now, if you're just beating your children and just doing things and you have no reason for it, then apparently you're obviously your children are going to look at you kind of sideways. But just think back when you were a child and the things that your parents did or your parent or guardian did. At the time, you was like, man, that was dumb. I don't see why they did it. But now as an adult, you look back, you're like, okay, I see exactly why my mom was like that. I see exactly why my father was like that. I see exactly why my guardian was like that. Once again, in hindsight, it's easier to put the dots together. So when we look at intent, what is a person's intent? And as a human, and you're just observing, especially celebrities, you don't know what they're doing beneath the curtain, behind the curtain. You don't know what they're doing beneath the surface. Fill in a blank of any celebrity that you think of that you idolize and look up to, which is another part of the problem. But think of any celebrity that you celebrate or any star that you look up to. Don't let that go over your head. And evaluate, do you really know these people? Do you really know these people? I'll use myself for an example, and I'm by no means a celebrity and damn sure don't want anybody idolizing me or looking up to me in that regard. But you don't know me really. There may be somebody in the chat box, might be my cousin Juice on here, my mom or somebody that really knows me longer than people started calling me Ali and stuff like that, that call me by my first name. But you as a viewer, as a subscriber to this channel, you don't know me. Only thing you know is the information that I'm sharing. Only thing you know is the post that I make on Instagram, Indra.Ali9. Follow me, connect with me there, Indra.Ali9. But that's all you know. If I don't tell you, you don't know it unless you do some private investigation or do some weirdo stuff. You really don't know what I'm about or my intention. When I came on here, I told you that I come on here because I was inspired during meditation to talk about this topic. That's what happened. But you don't know if that's true. I can have an intent to come on here and manipulate people and tell people to go run up into the Capitol Hall and do certain things. You never know a person's true intent. So when you look at that, you don't know what a person's going through. You don't know what emotional issues they have. You don't know how they treated their parents when they were young. You don't know how they're treating their children right now. There's a celebrity right now that's posting on Instagram telling you all these great things, but they smacked up their girlfriend, or they punched their wife in the stomach, or their children look at them like they're a piece of crap. But they're not going to tell you that. They're going to put on a facade and a personality to make you feel like they're above you. You feel me? So you never know a person's intent. And because you don't know a person's intent, you don't know a person's karma. This is the biggest takeaway that I want you to take away from this point. You don't know people's karma. You don't. You don't know what they did in this lifetime, and you damn sure don't know what they did in another lifetime. There's someone that you're close to that you don't know their travels. You don't know every thought they have. You feel me? I was listening to an interview from Joey Badbutt. You feel me? Pro Era. And peace and blessing be upon his mentor, Capital Steez. He was talking about how Capital Steez got him on a conscious path and all this stuff. And he really didn't realize, as far as I remember, he didn't realize that he was going through suicidal things. That the guy he looks up to was having suicidal thoughts. He didn't know. So he's going through learning from this individual, and this individual is fighting demons. Like I said, you don't know what a person's going through, and you don't know their intent. You don't know their karma. So when things appear to happen to people that you consider quote unquote positive or uplifting, you really don't know what lessons that they are here to learn, and you don't know what lessons that the people that are connected with them. Think about a person who gives birth to a child that has a physical ailment or a mental handicap. A lot of times we look at the child like, oh man, they have a poor life. But what about the caregiver? What about this child that has to take care of his mother or father because they have dementia? It's usually the caregivers that have some sort of lesson to be learned. Real quick off the top, where I can think of, if you have a child that has a mental disorder or a disease, you may have to learn the lesson of patience, being more patient, getting a wheelchair, taking your time with the individual, feeding them real slow, teaching them things. All these things are going to teach you patience. So imagine you're a soul that came to learn patience. You may agree to have a child born with an ailment. You may agree to be a certain size and have to move around slow. You may agree to have a life of poverty where you're not afforded luxuries to expedite things or whatever. But hopefully y'all can see my train of thought. You don't know a person's karma and what they came here to learn, and you don't know the people around them, what they came here to learn. So when things happen to people, don't look at it from the surface level. Most humans are surface level thinkers, meaning they only look at the symptoms. They only look at the outcome. They don't look at the causal effect. Just like right now, I know, just like I started earlier, it's in my eyes, it's a travesty that so many melanated people kill other melanated people. But I'm not a fool. I know why it's happening, and the cause isn't from melanated people. If we were left to our own devices and left in a situation where we can flourish, we wouldn't be killing each other. The reason why it's a lot of killings in America as far as melanated on melanated or black on black is because of poverty. Poverty breeds violence. And who created poverty? You feel me? It's not melanated people, it's the system. So I know the reason why melanated people kill melanated people, but that's not an excuse to keep doing it. It's that conversation is multifaceted. I'm not about to go ahead and break it down in this short video because that's not the point. But I bring it up because everything has a cause. Everything that you see had a reason for it happening. And if you believe in a higher power, if you believe in a universe, if you believe in intelligent design, then you know there's no accidents. To say that there's accidents is like saying the creator's clumsy. To say there are accidents is like saying the creator's clumsy. I don't believe the creator's clumsy. I don't believe that the universe is dumb. I believe there's order even if you can't see it. Just because you see chaos doesn't mean everyone sees chaos. Just because you look at the surface doesn't mean everyone look at the surface. Some of us have an X-ray vision. Some of us are able to evaluate beneath the surface. Some of us are stuck in a matrix. Some of us are able to analyze the matrix. Everybody has their vantage point. But the punchline and the major takeaway is good and bad is relevant. Intent matters more than anything. What is your intent? I'm a proud Second Amendment gun owner. I'm proud to be a gun owner. Why? For self-defense. For self-defense. The Second Amendment was not made for to kill blacks or melanated people to kill each other. The Second Amendment was created, I guess, in case your government went tyrannical. Like, if you didn't know that, look it up. The Second Amendment, the reason why you have the right to bear arms is in case your government loses its noodle. It's not to kill each other or whatever. But my intent for having a gun is righteous, in my opinion, because I would only use it for self-defense. In no way, shape, or form will I ever be tempted to go harm someone just for GP or even retaliatory. You hurt somebody of mine, I'm gonna hurt somebody of yours. I wouldn't do that. I'm not built that way. But if you come in my home and threaten to harm me or mine, I have no problems on exercising my Second Amendment rights. So in my mind, my intent is pure. But if somebody watched the news and say, big black dude in Ohio just killed somebody, but oh my God, another senseless killing. If you don't know the facts, just like with this young Dolph, peace and blessing be upon him, I don't know the facts. I'm only talking about what I briefly saw. And once again, this video is not about him. So we have to see that good and bad are relative. The intent matters, what a person intent is, and we don't know a person's karma. You don't know what a person's going through. You don't know what a person signed up to experience in this lifetime. So hopefully this message makes sense, and I delivered it in less than a half an hour. So I'm willing that makes sense. Also, I apologize for my rough demeanor. I know I look mad rough, but anybody who has ever written a book or done a project or worked on something major, you get what I call healthy obsessions, where that's all you're focused on. I'm working on my fourth book right now, and to be honest, I'm damn near halfway done. So that's why my appearance may look kind of crazy, for real, for real. So let me see. Do I have any questions, comments, or concerns? Willing that this message resonates with y'all. So when you see things that's going on, you don't get out your hookup, because you don't know what's really going on beneath the surface. Love yourself first. Spiritual Biz, spiritualbizaccelerator.com. The class is full. I'm gonna leave it up today to get a couple more people, because I'm not sure where I'm gonna do it again. So spiritualbizaccelerator.com. Shout out to all you in the building. Peace to my moderator, Janae. What's up, Natasha? I see you. Call you by your real name, not your screen name. You feel me? But yeah, what's good, y'all? Y'all have any questions, comments, or concerns? Any questions, comments, or concerns, yo? And like I said, hopefully the message made sense and I wasn't all over the place. Yes, I had an online follower before I made my first book. From recent events, I would say as a person, not no one higher up, answering that person's question. Say the Anabacoic every time I give an offering. Every single time I say the Anabacoic. The directions to use the talismans are on the website, yo. You can place under your pillow, keep under your person, or place on your altar. Appreciate that, Joshua. Thanks for all you do doing live meditation events next year. Again, take the spiritual business course if any slots are open. That's the man I worked with for one-on-one with the spiritual biz information, applied it. He's on Instagram. Damn, yo, you have to say your Instagram, put it in there, and I'll say it, whatever. Good, real good dude, real good dude. Also, Janae, share your information. Janae's Gems Boutique, or share your contact. The message is on point. I'm learning to look at everything in reverse. Racism and prejudice at an all-time high. I would say racism against ourselves is at an all-time high. Like I said, jealousy is the #1 killer amongst Black folks. A lot of killing that you see as far as the people look like me is usually having to do with jealousy, a female, something weird, yo. You feel what I'm saying? Growing up in the neighborhood, I'm from 14th in Baltimore, Southside, Middletown. Growing up where I grew up, I also went to all white schools before. I've gotten more hate from melanated people than non-melanated people, just being real. But also that's based on the circumstance by being around more melanated people. Because we'll say black on black crime, but usually melanated people live around other melanated people. So of course you're going to, have crimes dealing with who you're close with. That's the same as European on European crime or Asian on Asian crime. It's going to be race specific. But as a melanated man, I still don't want to use that as an excuse. And I still know that we're righteous and we need to do better as far as treating other people that look like us a certain way. We'll treat people that look like us worse than we'll treat people that don't look like us. From my experience, I'm not proud to say that, but from my experience, that's what I bear witness to. If you disagree with that, I don't know what to tell you. Yep, that spiritual energy guy and spiritual energy wellness. Check them out. Also, janaesgems.com for sure. Oh, yeah. Also, definitely spiritualaccelerator.com. If you want to work with me, You like my energy, you mesh well, you want a community of like-minded souls, definitely go to spiritualaccelerator.com. To be honest, the book I'm creating, the working on right now is called Spiritual Mastery Manual. I'm going to have a module or a course that accompanies it, and it's going to be in the accelerator program. My accelerator program, they get everything, all the exclusives, all that stuff. So, and also at the first year, based on all the information, based on everything we're doing, I'm raising the price. It's dumb cheap now. I would recommend that you go register. But make sure to read everything first. So don't go over there because I said so. Not reading up on the pendulums. If we're phasing out some of the more common things that you can find, like on Amazon. And when I first started, or when we first started, me and my partner, Son Saray, when we first started L9 Shop, a lot of stuff was hard to find. You couldn't cop everything everywhere. But now in 2021, yo, everybody got a spiritual boutique. Amazon, Walmart starting to carry things. You feel what I'm saying? So as opposed to just competing with big retailers and stuff like that and having a raise price, I don't want to do any of that. I'd rather let everyone get their items, spiritual items, from wherever you can get them commonly. And what we offer is more hard to find and personal things that we make. So definitely still shop with us, l9shop.com, the number 9shop.com. We're still in business. We still appreciate everyone. We still got ancestor money galore, probably the biggest sellers of ancestor money in the US as far as I know. So we still have certain items, but a lot of stuff like pendulums and altar cloths and things that you can find everywhere now, we just did away with it. Yep, the retreat is full and I already got people on the waiting list. The retreat sold out in very short time. But like I said, spiritualbusinessaccelerator.com, that's sold out as well. But I'm allowed probably leave it up for just the next day, just to see what's going on. Because like I said, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it again. To be honest, I'm gonna turn that information into a book as well. For those who ordered the Altar Magic Manual, I know it's been over a year now. For those who have pre-ordered it, I promise you it will be shipping out in January. For sure. If I have to edit the damn thing myself, it will be shipped out in January for sure. And I'll also put that link up so you can get a pre-order. So we're working over here. If y'all notice, every time I start now is know your path, be the master. That's all I'm on. What I see is a lack of people claiming their mastery. What I see is people looking for people to follow. What I see is people misguiding people, misleading people. We call that the okie doke. Your spiritual teachers, guru, they're selling you okie doke. I know that for sure. They're misleading you on purpose because they have nefarious reasons. My job is to get you to the point where you feel like you don't need me or no one else, because something within you that is a master, that is a guru, and you have to unlock that. The book I'm working on, I promise you, will help you unlock that. So for a little book, well, it probably could be that little. It's probably gonna be over 200 pages. But for one book that I'm going to subsequently turn into a course, I can assure you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, if you do the work, you will never feel like you need another man or woman. I don't care who you are, what you are. It's not for everybody, because most people don't want to do the work. Just keep it all the way a buck. Most people don't want to do the work. Most people want to passively learn. Most people want to just watch videos and listen to audio books and just passively learn. And that's fine. But for those of you that want to work, put in work, and when you look in the mirror, you want to see something looking back at you that you're proud of, you have to put in work. That's why I'm going to share with y'all. That's the only thing I'm on. I want to inspire people to be their master. The end. Everybody knows how to meditate. Everybody knows how to do an altar. Everybody knows how to work with. Everybody knows everything. We don't have too many people that are showing up authentically as a true and living God in the flesh. Not saying peace God, living God. Not saying, hey, yo, beautiful queen, being a queen. It's my will that we see more of that. Yeah, we need to take our spirituality into our own hands. We crack on, they crack on like religious people and call them sheep, but it's spiritual people the same way. People in the metaphysical, the occult community, same damn thing. You make these people, these teachers, these celebrities, these guys, these mentors, you put them up on a pedestal, yo. You never put anyone up on a pedestal. You never look up to anyone, because soon when you do, they can do something. Now you're looking down on them. Right now, for sure, I can make a comment on this YouTube. I've probably already made a comment where someone who's been following me for years, that would to me and to everyone say, man, Ali helped me out so much. I say one thing or do one thing or post one thing, everything I did before gets thrown out the window. You feel what I'm saying? Humans are fickle. They can change their thoughts in a minute. Like, not trying to pick on you queens, you goddesses, but there's a dude in your inbox right now that you was feeling a week ago, but now this week things change. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday's price ain't today's price. Shout out to Fat Joe. Things change, circumstances change. So without getting long-winded, stop looking up to people, because soon when they do something, you're going to look down on them. And also stop looking down on people. View yourself as your own master and guru. Look up to yourself. Give yourself reason to inspire others. The reason you're looking outside yourself, because within is ugly. Soon when you like what you see in the mirror, soon when you like what you see in your lifestyle, you're not going to feel the need to look at other people. You're not. But because you're not working on yourself, it's easier and more entertaining to see, oh man, look what Ali's doing. Look what Joe's doing. Look what Mary's doing. Look what Shanique was doing. You feel what I'm saying? It's time to wake up, y'all. I've been telling y'all, 2022, things are going to be revealed. Y'all thought 2012 was it? No, it's 2022. You're going to understand about our superpowers, our latent abilities. It's going to become abundantly clear. People you wouldn't expect to tell you things are going to tell you that you're basically a supernatural being, that you're basically an extraterrestrial, that you're essentially a god. You're going to know this for sure. And even with that, people are still going to act human. People are still going to knuckle drag. People are still going to be mundane and sheep, even knowing that information. A lion doesn't know it's a lion if it's been caged too long. It thinks it's a pussy cat. Look at any lion that's been locked up for a long time. You open a cage, the lion won't even leave. It's domesticated. It'll just chill. It forgot that it was a lion. You forgot that you were a god. You came into this meat bag called a human body and forgot who the hell you were. That's real, yo. Once again, if that don't make sense to you, it's not for everyone. Bobby Hammond said we were gods for the longest. Look how the so-called conscious community treats him. That's why I'm big on, you can come in here and say I changed your life for the better. I'll say thank you. You can say I messed your life up. I'm gonna say my bad. I'm not. It's gonna go one ear and out the other. People's opinions don't move me. For the same people you're helping are the same people that'll hurt you. I've seen it time and time again. I studied our people. I studied the movements that we led. I studied how people treat people on this planet that help. Everyone that helps on this planet end up getting hurt or messed up, or their legacies get tarnished. There's every hero that we have, we throw stones at them, man. It's in the human nature, the human psychology. Study this book, Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. Humans are not these beautiful creatures that you want to paint yourself out to be. No, don't be done helping you. I mean, you can still help people, but just don't do anything. Don't expect anything in return. I expect nothing in return by coming here sharing this video. In fact, I expect more criticism and ridicule than me waking somebody up or sparking somebody to do something. I have no intent. All I know is the spirit laid upon me to share this information. For what? For who? I don't know. And honestly, I don't care. I'm just doing my job. You feel me? But so don't stop, quote unquote, helping people, but don't have an agenda when you do it. I'm helping these people because XYZ. for sure. And I say this beyond a shadow of a doubt. If it wasn't in my cards, if I didn't feel a strong calling to be a quote unquote teacher, I wouldn't do this. This ain't lit. This ain't what's up. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that in a negative sense. I'm just saying, like, putting yourself out there and being like, recommending things for people, like, it comes across very egoic. I never want to come across like I'm better than you and I'm telling you this is the way you need to live. You feel me? But I ain't gonna hold you. It does make it worthwhile when you see for sure that what you share did help people. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the reason why you do it. You don't, in my opinion, you don't do things with an agenda. You do things because you're inspired to do it and it's in your cards. It's your destiny. I'm living my destiny. I did have a super chat. Appreciate that. Appreciate the super chat, Brianna. She said, I'm scared my teen will want to live with their dad if I say no or disagree with them. I know I'm a good mom, but my ex talks negatively about me. How do I manifest my child happily living with me? You have to do what you feel like is in your heart to do. I'm only giving my recommendations. Once again, this is just my perspective. You have to listen to your inner self. We all know that voice inside of us, we call it our first thought and our first mind. Whenever you're disciplining your child or telling your child something, there is something talking to you, telling you what to say. When you stop listening to that part and you use your own intellect and your own emotions of fear, of pushing that person away from you, then you may start to say things that's not in alignment with your spirit. But for me as a person, I'd rather tell someone the truth and let them make their decision as opposed to lying in them and manipulating them. If you're not telling someone the truth, you're lying and manipulating them. If I wasn't truthful in saying that melanated people killing melanated people, we're to blame for this, even though I know the cause, even though I know that there's a system at play that's making us feel like we have to do that, I'm still being honest with myself. I truly believe in my heart that we need to take responsibility and stop killing each other. So with that, I'm sure people are going to disagree. Oh, you're Uncle Tom. You're a sellout. You don't get it. You're not from the street. You're not I get it. That's going to open up ridicule. But I care this much because I know I'm speaking from my truth. When you're dealing with your daughter, speak and teach and guide her from your truth. And as long as you do that, you have to accept any kind of outcome. If you're being truthful and guiding her and she still goes with her father, trust me when I tell you, something's going to happen. It could be when she gets older, but she's going to remember, mom told me this, mom told me that. She didn't lie to me. Having a 20-year-old son and he's out the crib now, and when he comes back and he says certain things, I'm like, man, he really listened. Or man, I'm glad that I lived that way so he can see that. Until you have children leave the crib, you don't know what I'm talking about. But as long as you live righteous and you be more of an example than telling them, because children don't listen to what you say, they watch what you do. You feel me? So as long as you do that, then in my opinion, then everything will work itself out and be fine. I personally wouldn't try to just tell her whatever just for the sake of telling her whatever. Somebody said more thumbs up on the video. You notice I never say thumbs up because you have to want to do that on your own. But somebody else say that, then I appreciate it. Like I personally do that. If I like a video, I actually like it, but I never dislike videos. I think that's weird. If in fact, if they had think about if they had a dislike button on Facebook and Instagram, because right now you can dislike videos and no one knows you did it. But if you dislike someone's post on Instagram or Facebook, think about the dynamic and that whole dichotomy, how that would be if there were dislike buttons on social media. Think about it. That's the kind of stuff I think about. You can anonymously and behind your avatar say, I don't like you. You feel me? But you ain't gonna do that same thing in Facebook. You ain't gonna do that same thing on Instagram. And I'll do you one super better. You damn sure ain't gonna do that stuff in the flesh. You're not. You're not. You know, back in the day, yo, I had someone who from my own city, you feel me? Somebody I know personally. They were on Facebook in a Facebook group speaking about me, and I knew they were speaking about me. But you think this person said anything to my face? So when I knew they were talking about me, I called the person because I had their map. I called the individual, like, yo, I seen this or whatever. You got something you want to say to me? It was a bunch of hooming and hollering, backing up, backpedaling, all this, that, it's all peace, love, and light. But it wasn't peace, love, and light when you post that on social media. So the avatars allow you to do things that you wouldn't do in the flesh. There's dudes right now that's going and hollering at females because you're not seeing them in the flesh. But if you seen that baddie walking down your street, you just like, oh babe, you look good. You wouldn't go talk to that chick. You feel me? This whole 2020 social media, it made people that it made fake people be able to live in a fake world. It allows fake people to be fake. You feel me? And the real people, we just look weird because we just like haters and stuff like that. But they said the truth sounds like hate to those who hate the truth. Okay, so I don't have any questions or any comments pertaining to what we spoke about. Shout out to all y'all that came through. You came through late, definitely go back. The message is probably about 25 minutes or so, something like that. Not too long. Like I said, it was pressed upon my spirit after meditation to share this information with y'all. So I don't see any comments or concerns as pertinent to the topic at hand. So I'll leave y'all with the commercial once again. Spiritualbizaccelerator.com. If you have been waiting for me to do my 4-week course where I teach you everything I've done to get to the point where I'm on here on YouTube, writing books, making a quote unquote impact on humanity based on what everyone else says, and you feel like that you have a true gift, a true calling to help people, but you don't have the business acumen to do it, spiritualbizaccelerator.com. That's where you want to go. Make sure to read everything. If it resonates, you can join. Like I said, it's at capacity, but I'm going to allow people probably just today, maybe get 11, 12 people or so, but I don't like to make it too big because I want to make sure it's personal, because you may have something you're dealing with, and if I got 30 people in there, I'm not able to give you that personal attention. I keep the class small for a reason. Take advantage of it. I'm not sure when I'm gonna do it again. Also, if you want to work with me, you want to join a community of like-minded souls, you resonate with my energy, you feel like you need some guidance, you don't want to master teller telling you what to do, but you feel like you do need some guidance, you feel like you trust me, you feel like you vibe with me, you feel alone, you want to join a community of like-minded souls, other people that are on the path. There's no better offering that I can recommend than spiritualaccelerator.com. Once again, read all the information. Don't just go over there and be like, I'll sign up. You feel me? Read it. Make sure it resonates with you. If it does, you can join today. It's a monthly membership. You can cancel at any time. Lastly, l9shop.com, el9shop.com. We still have some items that we're phasing out, some pendulums and altar cloths and smudges, certain things that we're not going to carry anymore. We still have some. We have it for the low. So when you go there, click on close out items and you can cop some things for the low. Also, make sure to cop our oils, spiritual baths, crystal sets, ancestor money, talismans, etc., etc. Still got a bunch of nice offerings over there to aid you on your spiritual path. So if that's something you feel like you need or won't, make sure to go to l9shop.com. Thank you, Peacemaker. Thanks for the information. Do you have a question or anything, or you just want to give a donation, which I appreciate? So, and what else? What else? Those, oh yeah. For my accelerator members, I thought I sent it, but I sent it late. This Saturday we're breaking down the movie Coco, COCO. So for my accelerator members, you should receive an email here in 2 hours. And I sent the email yesterday reminding you that the webcast is this Saturday, our live webcast. This Saturday, we're doing movie metaphysics and we're breaking down the movie Coco. as voted by the members. So make sure to watch that movie, take some notes of what stick out to you, and then come Saturday at noon Eastern and share what you got from that. And I'll also share what I pick up from it as well. We're going to start doing the movie breakdown once a month. So that's another thing that we're doing with the accelerator. All right. So I don't see anything else, y'all. Indra Lee signing out. Once again, know your path, be the master. Not know Ali, not know Dr. Gibson, not know Uyi Sun, not know XYZ. Know your path and be the master. Indra Lee signing out. Till next time. Peace.